All right, the Spokane Police Department, they're pretty concerned right now about an uptick in vehicle prowling in the downtown core, but the downtown precinct is finding success with emphasis patrols in areas where it's happening most often.
KREM 2's Amanda Rowley is live downtown tonight to explain how officers are cutting down on the number of car break-ins in downtown. Amanda?
The Spokane Police Department moved its downtown precinct to this location right across the street from the STA Plaza about a year and a half ago. And at that time, Chief Craig Meidel said moving the precinct to the city's core would help reduce crime. And so far, data shows it's working. The Downtown Spokane Police Precinct looks at criminal activity in a certain area and determines how officers can reduce that crime. Then, all the neighborhood resource officers in the downtown precinct will spend some time during their workday in that designated hotspot. During these emphasis patrols, officers are not just using enforcement to deter crime, they are also working with property owners in the Crime Prevention Through Environmental Design program. It's a free program where officers recommend changes to your property that can help prevent crime.
They can be from anything from landscaping to lighting, cameras, where if those recommendations are implemented, we can hopefully reduce crime.
Lieutenant Steve Braun says 2 months ago, neighborhood resource officers increased their presence in the area of Madison to Cedar and Sprague to 2nd Avenue. Calls for service in the area reduced from 93 in the 2 weeks before to 57 in the 2 weeks after emphasis patrols. And vehicle prowling reports went from 18 to 3.
That tells me that there are officers who are out doing a fantastic job in the outreach, in doing some of those SEPTED recommendations, just being a visible presence so that the community sees our officers out in a couple of square block area as a deterrent for criminal activity.
Once officers move to another identified hotspot downtown, Braun says these numbers may go back up slightly, but they rarely go back to where they were before. He attributes this to people who implement those recommended changes to deter crime on their property.
If a property owner takes us up on SEPTED and they're willing to implement even some of the recommendations, we typically see a positive impact.
Now, the downtown precinct will continue to identify additional hotspots for criminal activity in the city's core, and they'll focus their efforts in those areas by hanging out in those areas for varying amounts of time. Now, the hotspots that they're focusing on right now are from Division to Spokane Street and 2nd to Pacific. Reporting in downtown Spokane, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.